Are you guys ready? Yeah? Okay. Fine. Heading into this year's competition season, I keep wondering about why I spend so much time practicing and preparing for competitions. Why do we get so excited by the search of this ideal competition coffee? I think it's all about continual quality improvements. Coffees I'm tasting now are better than ever before, and I believe competitions like the WBC have been a real key in providing a platform for us and for these coffees to really shine. So the question is, how do we increase and improve cup quality? How do we take solid coffees and make them special? Good coffees to become great coffees. I believe two major contributors are industry innovation and controlled fermentation. Now, fermentation is a topic that we're all familiar with. I've been impacted positively and negatively because of fermentation, and this made me realize how important precise control of fermentation can be in defining a positive cup quality. Inconsistent fermentations resulting from factors like uncontrolled transport, loose washing time, or uneven drying can result in green beans just not reaching their full potential. However, controlled, deliberate, and often innovative fermentation can result in spectacular coffees, such as those that I'll be serving to you today. Coffee whose potentials have been elevated. So let me go ahead and prepare the first out of these two coffees. I'll be right back. So the first coffee is a Wash Geisha from Finca Debra, a farm owned by Jameson Savage, located in the region of Volcan in Panama at 1,900 meters above sea level. Now, Jameson starts to control fermentations earlier on, picking coffee cherries only with higher Brix degrees of 22 to 24, before transporting them strictly within 3 hours from his farm to the facility, keeping that stability of the cherries. And then he would take these coffees and place them on a mechanical demucilager, leaving only a remaining 10% mucilage left intact, showcasing a short fermentation control. Then he would take those coffees and place them on a 3-tiered raised African bed system that he created. He innovated, moving the coffees from the bottom to the top to the bottom, systematically based on specific time, ensuring that the moisture content is achieved at 11%. Now, through this controlled short fermentation process by Jameson, combining with his innovative ideas, we're able to develop the coffee in terms of its floral fragrance, as well as layers and layers of citrus complexity, which made this coffee super amazing when we cupped it. I quickly understood why the best way to present this coffee was to use it as an espresso base. The high pressure yield of that machine enabled the coffee to intensify in these jasmine florals, as well as layers of orange-led citrus complexity, while still keeping a smooth and vibrant cup, which made this coffee super well balanced. For me to bring you those today, I had to use a strict controlled recipe, of course. Dosing at 19.6 grams, yielding 50 grams of espresso, using a slightly coarser grind size, a faster extraction time below 20 seconds, and also a lower temperature of 92.4 degrees. Through this controlled roasting, we had to roast this coffee for a development of 19%, using a more gentler heat approach, gaining a first crack later at 8 minutes and 30 seconds. And through this controlled green process, roast profile, and also extraction, we're able to develop and elevate the potentials of this coffee, bringing beautiful, positive values that I want you to know done from me and experience. So the first thing that we'll get is that beautiful jasmine floral fragrance. And it's going to turn into a mandarin orange sweetness. With a sun-kissed orange peel acidity and a finish of soft bergamot tea. This coffee has a slightly just below medium body, the smooth and vibrant texture that is juicy, and a long lingering finish. And I'd like for you to stir 15 times before taking your first sips in order to cool the coffee down, bringing up that beautiful complexity and sweetness. And whenever you're done, You can go ahead and place the spoons on the right-hand vessel over there. And in front of you are flavor notes and flavor wheel that I've created in order to guide you through elevating the whole experience of this coffee in all of my beverages today. So guys, please enjoy, and I'll be back. Sorry. Now the second coffee is an Abyssinia variety from Bantan Musara, a farm owned by Hendra in the Gayo province of Indonesia at 1,700 meters above sea level. Hendra and I found inspiration through controlled methods such as Jameson's and adapted it to our own unique style of naturally processing this coffee, which is quite rare for that region due to the instability of the weather conditions. So we started off the same way, controlling it earlier by taking coffee cherries with higher sugar levels between 20 to 22, then transporting it within 2 hours from his farm to the facility before placing it on a multi-layered bed system to dry it for 27 days as whole cherries, turning the coffees over twice a day each day, achieving a moisture content of 11%. And we did this all in a greenhouse that Hendra built in order to prevent that weather instability, giving us more control over that drying process. Now, through this controlled long fermentation, combining with our adaptive ideas of controlled methods by Jameson, we're able to elevate and develop this coffee significantly in terms of its mouthfeel and also sweetness, bringing super berry sweetness with a vibrant, smooth mouthfeel when we cupped it, which was really amazing. And I found that the best way to present this coffee was to use it as a milk beverage. As the sweet berry notes, combining with the silky milk texture, allowed the coffee to develop a new elevation of positive flavors that are super unique that I've never had before in milk. Flavors such as banana milk, honeydew milk tea, and a chocolate malt finish. And I wanted to increase the transparency because I enjoyed this milk beverage so much. So I decided to use a blended milk, using 2 different milks, achieving an ideal lower fat content of 4%, enabling me to push these coffees through the milk even more, bringing a more pronounced banana milk, honeydew milk tea, and that chocolate malt finish. We also had to use a strict controlled recipe for this milk beverage, dosing higher at 21 grams, yielding shorter at 35 grams of espresso for a higher extraction and a ratio of 1 to 7 espresso to milk. Enjoy. Enjoy. We also roasted this coffee for a shorter development of 15%, using a more aggressive heat approach, gaining a first crack quite earlier on at 7 minutes and 30 seconds, allowing us to achieve more balanced acidity, bringing that beautiful berry notes that will transform into these beautiful new flavors. Enjoy. Enjoy. Enjoy, guys, and I'll be back with the signature beverages. Thank you. Now, I was truly inspired by both of these farms and both of these farmers. In two very different corners of the specialty world, these two producers are using innovative processing to push for higher scoring cups. My signature beverage will combine all this innovation with controlled processing of my own, creating a new beverage, even more exceptional again. And we'll get to taste this in a similar form that I first tried all these coffees, which is by cupping them. So the first ingredient will be the espressos itself, from that washed finca d'Ebra, highlighting us back to that citrus-led complexity resulting from shorter fermentation that really makes this geisha perfect as an espresso base. My second ingredient is French press brewed gallo infused with CO2, using a ratio of 20 grams of coffee to 360 grams of water, steeping on a French press for 8 minutes before pouring and straining into these new vessels right here, of which I placed on top of these dry ice for the past 2.5 hours, achieving a smoother, crisp vibrancy like that of a soft soda. So I'll be adding 40 grams of each of this liquid into the espressos for the best balance and dilution in bringing that soft soda vibrancy. The last ingredient, I prepared 2 candy spoons that will both elevate and also transform all of our experiences today. So I'd like you to wait for my cue later before using these cups. So the first spoon is a mandarin orange coating for more elevation of that citrus complexity. I control fermented mandarin orange for 36 hours in the sealed jar for more of that deeper acidity before taking the juice, reducing it under low heat for 45 minutes with sugar and allowing it to cool and crystallize onto these spoons, forming this candy-like texture. The second spoon is a blueberry coating for more sweetness and also that transformation in the cup later on. Control fermenting longer for 48 hours in the same sealed jars, and then reducing the juice and using the same method to produce these candy-like spoons. So later, I'd like you to take at least 2 mouthfuls of each of the spoons, like that. So the first one will be the orange one that you'll be tasting, and the flavor notes are going to be soft orange soda with a jasmine green tea. And for the blueberry ones, the vibrancy will be less, but we'll have more balance and more sweetness coming out, creating a new flavor transformation to become more dark grapes and a beautiful pomelo finish. So please go ahead, guys, and enjoy. And I have one for you. Thank you. As we've had innovation of both farm level and barista level, have opened up whole new experiences in specialty coffee. I hope by showcasing these innovative techniques and spectacular coffees, we can inspire farmers, roasters, and baristas to always strive on even better cup quality and exciting new flavor possibilities. Thank you again so much, guys, for being here. Time.